Attack on Titan is one of my favorite anime of all time, without a doubt, and one of the reasons for that is due to all the twists and turns that the plot tends to take. Here's 10 of the top reveals that we've seen in seasons 1, 2, and 3. No reveals from season 4 will be shown in this video for those that have not seen it yet. Number 1. Eren's Titan form is first revealed to us. Now this is the first of multiple Titan Shifter revelations. I remember when I first got recommended this anime shortly after it was released. A friend of mine told me to watch the first 5 episodes or so and that I'd like it. I was like, alright, sure, I'll give it a try, why not? Eren's death was a shocker, but him coming back as a Titan, completely mind-blowing. This probably left many of us with questions like, well, who else can change into a Titan? And how will the rest of the cast take this revelation? And just utter surprise. And the fact that the first thing we see from him is saving Mikasa from another Titan adds a sense of him not just being a mindless Titan like the rest, but someone who holds at least some sense of his memories and control. Number 2. The Beast Titan is revealed. After years of waiting for season 2, we were thrust into the start of the season taking place directly after the results of Eren vs. Annie. Not only are there Titans in the walls themselves, which could even have its own place on this list honestly, but this episode puts some focus on Mike, their Survey Corps member whose skills are apparently second only to Levi himself. He uses himself as bait to draw Titans away from the rest of the cast, and in the process takes out a few Titans pretty skillfully, and then what do you know? This furry, Lanky Kong looking Titan makes his first appearance and he's not like the others. He's throwing horses and even speaking their language. Which, by the way, I mean, what language would that be? Like Eldian, Marlian, Japanese, German, I don't know. But this guy shocked Mike deeply. The look on his face, terrifying. This is the first time we see a Titan speak, and only the second antagonistic one after Annie that had this level of skill. Poor Mike. Number 3. Ymir's Titan form is revealed. Now this was a shocker. Ymir up to this point had pretty much 2 character traits: loving Historia and being a complete jerk to the rest of the cast. This scene here introduced a whole new side of her, which actually made her a bit more interesting finally. I honestly just couldn't stand this character. She's really probably one of my least favorites, especially up until this point. She also has the Titan that we would come to know as the Jaw Titan, and even more so, we find out around this time that she's the Titan that ate the warrior candidate Marcel, the previous inheritor of the Jaw Titan. This also changes the way that Reiner and Bertolt would see Ymir and set the stage for some later events to come in this season. Next up, Reiner and Bertolt reveal their Titan forms to Eren. This is easily one of my favorite scenes in general, and one of the biggest things revealed in not just season 2 but in the series as a whole. The first antagonists we've seen were the armored and colossal Titans who broke through Wall Maria and led to all the events up to this point in the show. Reiner tells Eren about their forms, confirming the suspicions that the Survey Corps had about them already, and Bertolt stands there reluctantly going along with it as usual. Like seriously, he's like basically, Reiner, seriously man, like we're doing this right now, like right here? And Reiner's like, yeah man, yeah, we're doing this, we'll go. And Mikasa takes the initiative as always, going right for the neck, quite literally in this scene as she cuts up both of them. Unfortunately, not able to finish them off before they are able to transform, however. But this does show once again that she always keeps a vigilant eye over Eren. Everyone else was walking away, minding their own business and whatnot. Mikasa is the one that's turned around, looking right at Eren because he stopped talking to Reiner and Bertolt, who, of course, they were all suspicious of to begin with. The audience and the cast had already all but confirmed that they were Titans, but this scene right here, played so beautifully, settled that once and for all. Next up, Connie's mother is a Titan? It's sad that this is what it took for them to find out more about the origins of the Titans. The whole village Connie is from, Baragako I believe, is turned into Titans by who we'd later come to find out is Zeke, the Beast Titan. Tragic. One of the few scenes that highlights Connie or really mentions anything about his backstory, despite him being in the series from the very beginning. Connie's family was basically plot fodder, unfortunately. But what really cuts deep is the look in Levi's eyes when he comes to the realization that all those Titans that he's killed, seeing as he's killed more than anyone else in the show basically, were actually humans. The ones he's been fighting to protect this whole time. Once again, as with most other reveals, this was something guessed by the audience, but seeing it confirmed in the series really hit home. Up next, Pixis overthrows the nobility. This is hard to put into words. Who would have thought that Pixis, of all people, one of the most senior officers in the military, would have this kind of plan? He always came across as pretty responsible, committed to the cause, and a genuine military man, loyal and all. You know, doing things about a book and whatnot. To basically be the mastermind behind the coup, not expected at all, and one of the greatest reveals and overall scenes in Attack on Titan history. Something that was sorely needed with the way things were going, as well as a clear indication that this season is no longer human versus Titan, it's now human versus human. Way to go, Pixis. Next up, Kenny's history with Yuri.
I guess they really do exist.
The first and really only time we get to see Yuri Rice, Rod's younger brother and the inheritor of the Founding Titan prior to his niece Frida, who in turn had it taken from her by Grisha, then passed on to Eren. This showed us more into the backstory of Kenny besides being an Ackerman and Levi's uncle. Who would have thought that Kenny the Ripper Ackerman would be the one that was behind Yuri ending the persecution of the Ackerman clan? It's unfortunate that at this point, Kenny had passed with seemingly no other relatives besides Levi and Mikasa, effectively leaving their clan almost utterly extinct. Next up, Marco's death by the Warriors. This was one of the sadder parts of the early first season of the show. The death of Marco made things heavy on a personal level with the cast. Although he wasn't in it for long, he was a friend and member of the 104th Cadets, and his death was an important part of the plot for Season 1. Now, we already knew that Marco's death had something to do with Annie, Bertolt, and Reiner. This flashback showed exactly how, in detail, what happened back then during the Battle of Troy. A lot of us probably didn't really give too much thought to Marco anymore after Season 1, but for those of us that were still wondering, this answered any questions that might have still been lingering. Next up is the basement reveal. The infamous basement, the place the cast struggled so valiantly to get through with so many lives lost in the process. What other series do you know that has a buildup of monumental proportions just to get to a freaking basement? In one of the last episodes of Season 3, we finally get to see what is in this basement of Grisha's that they've been fighting so hard to get to. Come to find out, Grisha is from a whole other country, people exist outside of the walls, technology like photographs exist, and plenty more information that wasn't shown on scene. Erwin's dream of proving his father's theory correct has come to pass, although he had to lose his own life in order for others to see it come true. It's truly poetic, and yes, you can question if it's worth it overall, as many lives, the majority of the remaining Survey Corps to be exact, were lost. But the information that they learned was also a very valuable resource for them without a doubt. Now, before I hit the 10th and final one on the list, just gonna remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Follow the channel on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, I do have a Discord server related to the channels where you can come, hang out, talk about whatever. It's all good. Description box has all the links as usual. And last but not least, number 10. Kruger reveals himself as the Owl. Who could forget good old Eren Kruger? This is the guy who passed the Attack Titan on to Grisha, which later wound up, of course, getting passed down to Eren along with the Founding Titan. Grisha, standing at the top of the wall, just having seen his comrades, including his wife, pushed over and turned into Titans, or eaten, gets saved by Kruger, the same man who beat him as a child for leaving the internment zone, and was present for his torture years later for being a part of the Eldian Restorationists. He turned out not only to be the mysterious figure, the Owl, the hidden leader of the Restorationists, their man on the inside, but also the Attack Titan? Not to mention Grisha naming his second son Eren, also, which we can assume was done in honor of the man who saved his life. A great scene, one of the biggest things revealed in the series and Season 3, and easily a scene I can go back and watch and just still be like, they did this. Amazing. That was 10 of the top revelations in Attack on Titan Season 1 through 3. Season 4 Part 1 is not covered here, like I said previously. I might cover Season 4 as a whole once it is released next year. So until then, I have other Attack on Titan videos that I will be releasing. So just stay tuned for more. And as always, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments. I will be responding and checking out all of them. And thank you guys for watching. As always, this is ENT, and I am OUT.